Here's Alex Cox.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers is that rare thing, a remake that is as good as the original film. There have been countless lousy and incompetent remakes, Stagecoach for instance, or Father of the Bride. Sometimes they are so bad they have to be concealed under a different title. The remake of Out of the Past was called Against All Odds. Offhand, I can think of only one other instance in which a genuinely good remake was made, and that was William Friedkin's Wages of Fear, a truly inspired retelling of the French classic. Wages of Fear was a great film based on a great film. It was also a monumental failure at the box office. Invasion of the Body Snatchers is a good film based on a good film. Needless to say, it made lots of money and made its director Philip Kaufman that equally rare thing, an independent American filmmaker whom the studios considered bankable. From humble and intelligent beginnings like the great Northfield, Minnesota raid, he went on to achieve grandiloquence in the form of The Right Stuff and the unbearable lightness of Daniel Day-Lewis. The original version of the Invasion of the Body Snatchers has been shown on Moviedrome, as the gentle viewer will no doubt recall. Made in 1955, it was a dark and moody science fiction thriller, a bit intellectual and a tad more subtle than the radioactive cloud that turns men into giant ants, 50s norm. Directed by Don Siegel, it was a parable of the encroachment of a dangerous alien conformity upon a small California town. At the time, the great manufactured paranoia was communism, and the film could be viewed as a warning against said political doctrine, or as a criticism of those who would suppress it at all costs. Communism remained the great American fear through 6 presidencies, justifying the enormous military expenditures of the Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, and Ford years. By 1978, Carter was president, and the Red Menace didn't seem such a menace anymore. In fact, for a brief while, it began to appear that the menace might actually be domestic rather than foreign, hence the very different take of Philip Kaufman's film. Instead of a small town in Northern California, we're in San Francisco, a city filled with already threatening people and job descriptions. Long before the aliens show up in force, it's obvious that something's wrong. The post-Vietnam, post-Watergate fear of big, unseen power politics lurks at the edges of the film. One of the symbols of lurking corporate encroachment in this version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers is this odd-looking skyscraper, a little like a stretched-out version of the Masonic pyramid on the dollar bill. It appears several times and always manages to aggravate our sense of unease. Ironically, or maybe not, this building is called the Transamerica Tower, Transamerica being a massive corporation that owned, among other assets, United Artists, the producer of this film. Watch out for Don Siegel playing a small role as a taxi driver, and Kevin McCarthy, star of the previous Body Snatchers, reprising one of the scenes from the original film. Also be on the lookout for a 5-second appearance from Robert Duvall, whose part is so small he doesn't receive a credit, and Leonard Nimoy in a non-pointy-eared role. Grateful Dead fans should prepare to enjoy Jerry Garcia on the banjo.